How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
The last of the first round of fixtures for IPL 2025 sees Gujarat Titans host Punjab Kings. Shubman Gill's Gujarat Titans hoping to redeem themselves after a disappointing 2024 against Punjab Kings, looking to reinvent with Shreyas Iyer at the helm, joining Ricky Ponting. Welcome to Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout. We're in the company of Matthew Hayden and Ambati Rayudu to set this game up for us. Thank you, gentlemen, for your
Pleasure.
time.
Thank you.
Let's start with the Titans, shall we? Shubman Gill has a new opening partner, potentially Joss Butler. How exciting is the prospect of those two pairing up at the top?
Well, they can simply win the game in the first half of the game if they go with that combination, and slightly different styles as well. I mean, Shubman Gill will be a little steady and sure, strike rate of maybe 130 potentially. Joss the boss on a very good wicket can dominate that first 6 overs, and we've seen in the IPL just how important the first 6 is. You get behind and lose wickets, you're in trouble because you've got to be in that 200 zone.
Does Butler's form coming into the IPL concern you at all?
Yes, it does, but it's the IPL. It's a different tournament. You know, at international level, you also get, you know, high quality bowling attacks that are relentless, you know, through all the 6 options that they have. There's usually 1 or 2 bowlers that can be targeted in IPL cricket, and the experience of Butler, I think, has got, well, history will say, his record will show you that he's pretty much on the money.
They do have another top order batter who we must mention. Sai Sudarshan had such a good last season. When you consider that top 3, feel fairly similar in terms of how they like to start. Is that all a bit of a problem given the way we're seeing power play batting in the IPL these days?
Yeah, I think so, and especially when you're playing at Ahmedabad, where ball just swings around just a little bit at the start. Maybe, you know, I think Sai Sudarshan might open just because he's a left-hander, and Butler might just come down a bit because the middle order batting is not that strong. So, and also these 3 players, as you said, take that little bit of time and then, you know, to accelerate. And if they lose a wicket then, so they don't have the middle order firepower to, you know, really compensate for that. So it will be very, very interesting, and I feel Butler batting slightly lower would be ideal for them.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a strategy though, where you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, Tawadia is the only one that's got an average of 25 in that middle order. The rest are really struggling.
Yeah.
You know, so do you want to just put your gun up front
And
then hope that, you know, that middle order, you know, which has got some talent in it, can carry its own weight?
Yeah, it is quite an eclectic sort of mix that GT have through the middle. They have Shah Rukh Khan and Rahul Tewatia, who they've retained. They got Washington Sundar, and they'll possibly have room for one out of Sherfin Rutherford, Glenn Phillips. Let's start with that one. Which one would you rather have playing?
I think Glenn Phillips, simply because he's been playing a lot more cricket, and also his fielding is unbelievable. So we have seen that in the Champions Trophy. And Glenn Phillips off late has been playing spin well, as you know, in the recent games that we have seen. So Glenn Phillips for me, with Tewatia and Shah Rukh Khan there, that will be a decent enough middle order.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Glenn Phillips is a standout player at the moment. He's come off terrific form in the Champions Trophy, pulled off some of the greatest catches of all time, simple as that. Sherfin Rutherford, he averages 15.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying he can't play, he's a good player, but is he as good and as impactful as Phillips? Can offer a bit with the ball as well, great in the field, and is dynamic with the bat at the moment.
We've spoken of the 3 top order batters. We've spoken of the 3 hitters as they may be. What about Washington Sundar? Is there a case to use him a little differently? Could he be a bridge between these 2 sets of batters?
I think so. I mean, he can, like how we are seeing Akshay Patel do for the Indian side. Washington Sundar can do it for GT this year and make that transition in his career as well, where he can come at 3 or 4 being a left-hander, get in there to really play those impactful innings. And he has the talent to do it, and I'm sure he must be working really hard you know, on his batting skills to get out there, and I feel he has the talent.
All right. Let's turn our attention towards Punjab Kings now, shall we? They are hoping Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting, that combination, can do for them what they did for Delhi Capitals some years ago. And they've built quite an interesting roster filled with a lot of Australians. Matthew Hayden, Ricky Ponting has used 5 of his 8 overseas slots for Australians.
Yeah.
What is your ideal overseas mix for Punjab as their starters?
Well, I think Maxwell's definitely got to play and Stoinis has got to play. I know that he's probably now, and this goes for a lot of players playing the IPL as overseas, they're tending to focus only on the T20 events, but you know, their records show that their versatility, their international experience has got, you know, the potential to win games of cricket. So, you know, I would have those two in for sure.
Correct.
So I think, yeah, along with Josh Inglis and Janssen. So I think that will be the best for.
Inglis has a role at the top of the order when you consider the makeup of this squad.
Yeah, I think so, because his opening stats are really good, and Stoinis can bat in the middle. He bats really well at 4 or 5 with Maxwell and also Nehal Vadera, that young kid in the mix. I think that left hand and these right hand combinations can be very, very fruitful for Punjab.
Yeah, because it is worth noting that it is a formidable domestic core. Would you agree? Because when you look at the domestic likely starters, you've got Prabh Simran and Shashank who were retained, there's Shreyas Iyer, you've got Arshdeep Singh, Yuzvendra Chahal and Harpreet Brar. Are you liking the mix of this 11 once you add those 4 overseas?
Yeah, and I love that mix along with Ricky Ponting, because he gets the best out of these young Indian boys, and we have seen that over the years. He does a fantastic job with them, and especially with Shreyas, he brings that calm, composed captaincy. I think they have a very, very decent side this year.
He backed Shreyas at Delhi, if you remember, preferred him as captain. And nothing suggests that his influence there didn't really carry forward to KKR. I think he is actually a premium captain.
Yeah.
And so to bring him along into his new franchise, his new coaching opportunity, it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, true.
Really.
It's a match made in heaven.
Because they qualified for the playoffs both the times that they were together. So it'll be great.
And that was at a Delhi who had not made the playoffs for 7 years. Punjab now haven't made the playoffs in more than a decade. So they are hoping that it can be a repeat with Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.